Hello all, welcome in this video lectures series on 8051 microcontroller. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss out about alternate function of port P3. So mainly we know that when we talk about a structure of 8051 microcontroller, one of the striking feature of this microcontroller is that 8051 or the microcontroller families contain of 4 GPIO ports, that is port P0, P1, P2 and P3. The GPIO means what? All these 4 ports are capable to work as an input as well as output. Some of the port like port P0, P1 and P3 going to have some alternate function assigned to it. No doubt all these 4 ports basically going to work as a GPIO, whereas to enhance the capability of this microcontroller, the operational capability, each of this port is assigned with some alternate function. As like port P0 deals with the multiplexed address and data lines, port P2 carries the higher 8 bits of the address of external memory, that is address line, and the port P3 is a most important one, which is having a port pin to support the internal blocks. For example, to understand the operation of port P3, the alternate function, let us again recall a basic block diagram of 8051 microcontroller. So when we talk about this basic block diagram, we know that in this microcontroller we have some important the blocks like this interrupt control, then this timer section, okay, and this serial port over here. And when we are going to focus on each of this, then the one thing that we are getting is what? Associated with this interrupt control, we are having two pins, that is INT 0 bar and INT 1 bar. For this timer 0 and timer 1, in case of 8051, this T1 for timer 1 and T0 for timer 0, and for serial communication this TXD and this RXD. So when I am going to talk about these pins which are going to support the operation, the internal operation of these blocks, then these pins are basically associated with port P3. So let us discuss what is the role of each and every port pin. So here when we talk about alternate function of port P3, basically this port P3 is again 8 bit wide, okay. So pin number 10, which is P3.0, and pin number 11, which is P3.1, these two pins are going to work as RXD and TXD respectively, and these two pins are basically associated with serial communication block of internal structure of 8051 microcontroller. Similarly, pin number this 12 and pin number 13, which are P3.2 and P3.3, that is INT 0 bar and INT 1 bar, these two pins are associated with a interrupt control. Pin number 14 and pin number 15, that is P3.4 and P3.5, are nothing but T0 and T1 and useful to enhance the capability of timer section of microcontroller. And last two pins, that is pin number 16 and pin number 17, which are basically P3.6 and P3.7, are going to work as WR bar and RD bar respectively, and useful when we are going to interface an external memory to 8051 microcontroller. So let us discuss how these exactly pins are going to work in order to support the internal blocks of this 8051 microcontroller. So again, just recall the same. Now we will see each and every pin in detail. So when we talk about a serial communication, right? So we know that what is serial communication basically? The serial communication is basically a mode of communication in which whatever data is there, this data is transmitted bit by bit, okay. So whatever this 8-bit data, as we know that the microcontroller is a 8-bit controller, so in serial communication this data is transmitted or received bit by bit. Means what? Suppose right now I want to transmit a data, that data is nothing but alphabet A symbol, okay, and this alphabet A having the ASCII value as a 65 and the equivalent hex value for this 65 is a 41. So no doubt its binary equivalent value is 0 1 0 0 and 0 0 0 1. So this is a 8-bit data that suppose I want to transmit serially. So what will happen in case of this serial communication block? Later on again the associated SFRs we are going to discuss out. So in this serial communication, basically one 8-bit register is there. This internally 8-bit register is called as a serial buffer register, that is a SBUF register. So what is the use of this SBUF register? Whenever we want to transmit any data serially, this data we have to copy into this SBUF register, and once we put this into SBUF register and when we start the serial communication, then this data is transmitted through this TXD pin. So TXD stands for serial transmission. So in case of 8051 microcontroller, when we utilize the serial communication, then the data is transmitted serially. First the LSB bit, again some framing concept is there, so that we are going to discuss later on, but at basic level, first this LSB is transferred, then the next, that is this D1 bit, D2, D3, in this way the last the MSB bit is transmitted, and this transmission is done on this TXD pin, which is nothing but a P3.1. So in this way this P3.1 pin, this pin is used for the serial data transmission. Similarly, suppose we want to receive a data. So in order to receive the data, directly that data is received with the help of this RxD pin, that is serial data reception, which is nothing but P3.0. So the data is first received on this P3.0 and then it is copied or it is stored inside this SBUF register. And now as per our requirement, we are going to copy the data from SBUF register into some another register. So in this way, this P3.0 is used for serial data reception and P3.1 is used for serial data transmission. So as we discussed here, to support this serial communication, we have these two pins, that is RxD and TXD. So this RxD pin is nothing but which pin? This pin is our simple, this P3.0 pin, where your data is received serially, and the TXD pin is nothing but which one? It is P3.1, which is simple what the used in order to serial data transmission. So the next block, that is this interrupt control. So what is an interrupt? So basically in quick succession let us discuss it. Suppose we have two different tasks, right? Out of which the one task is a main task. I will consider this as my main task, okay, which right now the CPU is executing, and we are having another one supplementary or subroutine, and this we are going to say as suppose the another task, okay. So as discussed, I am having this as my task T1 and this is what simple the task T2, and right now suppose the CPU is dealing with task number 1. The CPU is executing the task 1, and meanwhile if the task 2 wants execution, what the task 2 is going to do? The task 2 is going to generate one special signal towards this CPU. So the CPU is going to read this signal, it is going to stop its execution, jump to this task T2, complete out this task T2, and again come back to this task T1. So in this way this sequence carried out. So again recall the same, CPU right now executing task 1. We are having two tasks, a task 1 and task 2. Right now CPU is executing task 1. Meanwhile task 2 wants some service from this CPU. So this CPU or this simple task 2 is going to generate one signal. So this signal is read by CPU, and as per that it is going to stop its execution, jump towards task T2, complete out task T2, and again come back to task T1 for execution. So here whatever this signal generated, this signal is mainly called as a interrupt signal, okay. So whenever the task want execution from CPU, it is going to generate a signal, and this signal is called as an interrupt signal. And as the task T2 is get executed after generation of interrupt, it is called as a ISR, that is interrupt service routine. Why? Because the task 2 is get executed only when this interrupt is generated. So in this way, to enhance the capability of interrupt associated with 8051 microcontroller, out of different interrupt, two special interrupts are there, and these interrupts are called as a external interrupts. That is, these interrupts are generated through the external environment, and in order to generate this, or the name assigned to these interrupts are INT 0 bar and INT 1 bar as shown over here. So this is the INT 0 bar, which is nothing but external hardware interrupt 0, and the second one is a INT 1 bar, that is external hardware interrupt 1. Okay, and in order to support this, we are having two pins, that is P3.2 and P3.3. So what this indicates, as this is a INT 0 bar is provided, these are active low signals. For example, when we enable the interrupt block of 8051 microcontroller and any high level to low level transition is detected either on this P3.2 or P3.3, it is considered as external hardware interrupt is generated. So in this way, the interrupt, then this kind of signal is generated here, and as it is generated from external environment, these are called as a external hardware interrupt 0 and external hardware interrupt 1. So here this P3.2 and P3.3 are exclusively used to support this interrupt service activity. So in this way, this interrupt block is going to work along with this P3.2 and P3.3. The next one is simple, the timer block. So what is there when we talk about this timer? The timer is going to support two activities. The first one is a timer operation and the second operation is a counter operation. So let us find out the difference between what is timer and what is counter. Consider case number 1. In this case, we are having suppose one LED, right? So this LED I want to turn on for say 1 minute, and again I want to turn off this for 1 minute, and this process I want to repeat continuously. Means again after this 1 minute, LED is on and LED is off, and this activity is basically called as what? The LED blinking activity or the LED blink operation, which is mainly we are going to visualize on many control panels and all. So here when we talk about this simple logic, right? So when we want to turn on a LED, we are going to send a active high level, and when we want to turn off LED, we are going to send the active low level. Again the active high level and active low level. In this way we are going to give a supply over here. So if you see, if we focus on this, at this instant the LED is on, and at this instant the LED is off. Okay, so between this to this the LED is on, and between this interval to this interval LED is off. Means what? The status remains constant here throughout this time span or time interval. The LED remains off, and throughout this time span the LED remains on. So what we are going to do, at this instant I am going to turn on LED, and I am going to keep the status of this LED as it is for this specified time span. Similarly, at this instant I am going to turn off this LED, and I am going to keep the status as it is for this specific time span. So this operation means introducing a delay in program or some, this is a timing related activity. This operation is called as a timer operation. And now what is counter operation? In case of this counter operation, suppose initially these two registers, that is timer 0 and timer 1, are initial value as a 0 0 0 0, as both are 16-bit registers. Okay, as we have discussed in basic architecture, right? So whenever any, say the high pulse is detected or any a single pulse is detected on this P3.4 or this P3.5, which are associated with timer 0, the P3.4 is associated with timer 0, that is T0, and P3.5 is associated with the timer 1. Okay, so whenever one single pulse is detected on this port P3.4, what will happen? The content of timer 0, suppose initially these are 0, are get incremented by 1. So the new content will be what? 0 0 0 1. For the next pulse, again the content are get incremented by 1. So new content will be what? 00002 in this way. Similar for this T1. Suppose on P3.5 initially the timer 1 content are 0, and if this transition or this pulse is received on this P3.5, so for each and every pulse the content are goes on incrementing. In short, we are counting a pulse on available on this T0 and T1 pin, which are nothing but what? P3.4 and P3.5. So this is basically called as a counter operation. Means what? Simple count and external events, right? And in order to support this, the two pins are there, that is P3.4 and P3.5. So in this way, this T0 and T1 pin, these are used. So when we talk about this alternate function that supported, as discussed, this P3.0 is useful or used to receive a data serially, P3.1 used to transmit data serially, and these two pins are associated with serial communication. P3.2 and P3.3 are basically INT 0 bar and INT 1 bar, that is external hardware interrupt 0 and external hardware interrupt 1, used for interrupt control. In timer operation, P3.4 and in counter operation, P3.4 and P3.5 are used to count an external events respectively. So the T0 is associated with timer 0 and T1 is associated with timer 1, and this activity is basically called as a this event counting and associated with this timer block. And when we interface an external memory, whenever we are going to write a data from microcontroller towards a memory, in the sense when we store any data inside the memory from microcontroller, this WR bar pin is used, and to read the data from memory towards microcontroller, this RD bar pin is used. So in this way, this port P3 is used to support the operation of internal blocks here.